Who do you have to become to reach your dreams? Who do you have to become is the keyword, because the current version of you, the version that you've been playing for the past 12 months, for the past 18 months, unfortunately, they're not capable of achieving your goals and your dream life. Because if that version was already capable, they would have already done it. So in this video, I'm actually going to share my biggest lesson that I learned from Sam Ovens, the founder of School.com, who at this point, like, that platform is worth $1 billion, or it's on its way to making $1 billion. I don't know. But in this video, I'm going to cover the alchemy of self. So by the end of the video, you're going to know exactly, with crystal clear clarity, the person that you have to become to be able to reach your dreams effortlessly. Because the person you are right now, reaching your dreams is a struggle. It's like this difficult thing that you have to, like, and you really honestly can't achieve it as your current self. You have to evolve into the new self. So a lot of things here came from Sam Ovens himself. I'm going to reveal to you in this video some never before seen documents that never have been seen before on this channel. And by the end of the video, you're going to know exactly who your current self is. What is the current character you're playing, their fears, their thought patterns, their mental syntax, what your dream life is going to be, which most of you guys already know, but it helps have some clarity there. Then we're going to map down specific action steps. We're going to build a train track to your goals, basically dividing your big dream goal into 5 different phases and creating mini steps for every phase. That way, every single day, all you have to do is take these bite-sized chunks to reach your goals. And the most important part is who you have to become to reach your dreams. We're going to map out that character, map it out, and it's going to be from a perspective that you've never seen before. And if you take action on this video, and I promise you probably don't even know who I am, but if you stay till the end of the video, your entire life will change, and I promise you that. So guys, let's get into the video. This is the biggest lesson I learned from Sam Ovens. If you're not aware who Sam is, he ran a company to $30 or $40 million a year called Consulting.com. The company's not in service anymore because he's running School.com, which is obviously the community platform, okay? So the biggest thing that you have to be aware of is the gap, okay? There's the gap. As you can see on the left side, this is the current version of yourself, and this is who you want to become. And every single person watching this right now, me, you, everybody, there's a gap. Meaning, if you were already the person that could have achieved your goal, you would have already achieved it. Okay, so there's a gap, meaning between who you are right now and who you need to become to reach your dreams. So what do I mean by that? I mean this, for example. This is an example that Sam shared. This could be you right now. Again, this is just an example. It might not be this exact thing, but there's you right now versus who you need to become to achieve your wildest dreams effortlessly. And chances are, in your mind, there's a constant personal identity crisis, okay? Like, for example, you right now, you might be, maybe you have bad habits of, like, sleeping in a lot. And the best version of you, they wake up at 6 a.m. every single day. They get perfect sleep. They do 10 hours of deep focus work. They're extremely healthy. They their body is just, they look like a Greek god. They're the most capable version of themselves. So if you go back to the gap, this is the gap between who you are right now and the absolute most capable version of yourself, okay? And chances are, there's quite a big gap. Now, when you think about that, when you think about the most capable version of you, the version of you that would easily achieve your goal, if your goal is 100K a month, they would easily do that. Of course, there's some time, like there's a time that it's going to take, but as long as they take the right actions, they're 100% going to do that. What does that version of yourself look like? And you need to start to think about it. You need to start to visualize. We're going to write it down and get it crystal clear on a piece of paper. But for now, think about that version. What do they do on a daily basis? Like, why wasn't yesterday the most capable, the best, most productive day you've ever had? Right? And that's the gap. Let's choose yesterday or the day before, whatever, or even today. Look back on the day. Why was it not the most productive day you've ever had? Okay, so the bridge between what you actually did yesterday and why wasn't it the absolute best it could have been, that's the gap. That's the gap you need to bridge, because if every single day you're able to show up as your best self, okay, the self that you already have inside, just the best version of it, then you're going to become that person that effortlessly achieves their goals. But there is this constant identity crisis. I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie Split. The movie Split with Anya Taylor-Joy, with like this guy who has basically multiple personality disorder. And it's obviously an extreme thing, and it's very controversial in science and psychology and all that, whatever. What I want to say, the point is that we all, to some extent, have multiple personality, like obviously on a much smaller scale, right? For example, There's the lazy version of you, and then there's the ambitious version of you. And these selves, right, these masks that we wear, they're constantly battling. Oh, whoopsies. They're constantly battling. And it's just a matter of which self is going to take the light at that given moment, okay? So here's the big thing standing in your way, because a lot of you guys think, oh, I need more ads, or I need to become a better salesperson, or I need to, insert whatever XYZ, like common sense skill to be able to get to the next level. Here's you in the blue bubble. This is your current, let me actually make this bigger. Hold on, guys. This is your current situation right here on the blue bubble. So this is your current life right here. The amount of money that you make, where you live, the clothes you wear, everything. This is your current situation right here in the blue. And the red is your current character, meaning your habits, the way you think, basically the person that you are. Like if you were playing a movie, if your life was a movie, your current character is the accumulation of every habit, every belief, your identity, and all your friends, all your family, like everything that surrounds your personal character that you're playing. Okay. And then there's your dream life, which chances are, if you have big dreams and big goals, like the people that, I want to be able to target with these videos, there's quite a big gap in between. There's a gap in between. There's quite a big gap, right? Maybe you're making like 5K a month and you want to make 200K a month, whatever. It's a big gap. Let's just use that example. You're making 5K a month and you want to make 200K a month. There's quite a big gap. Okay, but the problem is your current character, the guy that makes 5K a month, trying to achieve your dreams as this character is going to end in self-sabotage and internal conflict, right? That character is not capable, like the way their subconscious is wired, they're just simply not capable of making 200K a month, right? They lack the skills, they lack the habits, they lack the discipline, the attention. So what's going to happen is you're going to try to achieve this dream as this character. Like internally, you're not going to change anything. You're going to try to obviously you're going to try your best, but you're going to try to achieve it as this person. And what's going to happen is it's going to be such a struggle, and you're going to make a little bit of progress, and it's going to knock you back down. You're going to make a little bit of progress, and it'll knock you back down, all over and over. And it'll just be the cycle of repeated failure, until you get frustrated and you give up, or you change business models and you say, you know what, let me try e-commerce, let me try drop shipping, or let me try something else. Those are the same thing. You guys get the point. And it's the same thing all over again, because this dream life, that version of you is just not capable of achieving it. It's extremely difficult. What you need to do is you have to become your new character. Okay, you have to change the inside, the internal, and then as a result, as a reflection, the external will boom. Right? Instead of trying to cross this gap as your current character, you don't try to cross the gap. You just become the person who naturally achieves it. And obviously 60, 90, 6 months go by being the 100% most productive and best version of you, diet wise, sleep wise, socially, work ethic, discipline, happiness, everything. And by the way, guys, this is not about being like a monk and just working 15 hours a day forever. That's not what we're talking about. I'm talking about the best version of you, the one that shows up best for their family, right? How do you become more of that person, right? Because there's multiple versions of us. There's a lazy version of us, which we want to try to cripple as much as possible. Even Elon Musk has like a bad side or a lazy side. Like everybody does. How do you starve that side as much as possible so you can become the best version of yourself? And that's what it comes down to. A lot of you guys, you're trying to achieve it as your current version, and then it just doesn't work because you're everything is just not optimal. That identity, if we go back to psycho-cybernetics, that identity does not achieve that dream life. Okay, guys, so let's talk about the current character worksheet. Now, we want to define your current character. We want to actually, guys, this is going to take like 15 or 20 minutes. I promise this is going to be the most insightful 15 or 20 minutes that you've ever done in the past 6 months. Okay, this is this important. Before you can become somebody new, you need to get crystal clear clarity on who you are right now. Okay, and chances are, if you guys have never done this process, it'll be extremely eye-opening for you guys, because you want to make the unconscious conscious, right? I think there's a quote that says, if you let the unconscious rule your life, then you know what? I forgot the rest of the quote, but yeah, I think you guys know what I'm saying. So here's your assignment. I'm going to open this document. This document, by the way, guys, was actually in Sam Oven's program back in like 2017. It's been what, like nine years. This program is no longer available. I've modified the document with my own personal tweaks. Okay, so I've tweaked the document. I removed things obviously that I thought didn't make sense, and I changed some of the questions around. But this is Sam's original document in his program. So I don't know how long this video is gonna keep up. I don't because the company doesn't exist anymore. I don't think anyone minds me kind of sharing this. But here it is, guys. I'm gonna show it to you, and we're gonna create this together step by step. Okay, so here's the current character worksheet, and I'm gonna link to this below in the description, guys. Okay, so this is a Google Doc. You can come here and you can click File, make a copy, and then save it to your own personal Google Doc. You can obviously type in this. You can print it out, guys. This is very, very important. And as you watch this video, I recommend go to the link below, open it, and then fill it out as you're watching this video or after this video, whatever you personally prefer. All right, guys, let's get started. So how would you describe yourself right now in 3 sentences or less? And the more honest you can be with this, the better, because we're going to cover your new character. But let's talk about your current character, your current self. How would you describe your current self right now in 3 sentences or less? Now, when I've done this before, what I write or what I come up with is something like, and by the way, this is going to be different for every person, but what I write is like, you know, the hustling and struggling entrepreneur trying to make his first 3K a month online, who's trying his best but finds it very, very difficult to actually get some traction or some momentum, right? I've written that down like years ago. What you could write also is the entrepreneur who was working 70 hours a week and who's making 10K a month but can't seem to break through to the 15K a month range no matter how hard he tries. Whatever. How would you describe yourself right now in 3 sentences or less? What is that summary of like who is the current self, and what is that story that you tell yourself? Okay, very, very important to get some clarity. Okay, number 2, so where do you currently live? So where do you live, and how much money do you make, and how much money do you have, right? This is good because you're getting a data point of who you currently are, right? So maybe right now you're making 5K a month and you live in Arizona, and maybe you have 15K saved up, whatever. That's pretty simple, right? Just take a look at your bank account, do it right now, and write it down. So how do you currently present yourself? What do you look like? This is really, really important. How do you present yourself to the world? Meaning, like, what do you wear? What do you dress? Are you scruffy? Like, do you have a beard that's like not really like cleaned or trimmed? Like, how do you present yourself, right? In the past, so, like, people get in the bad habit of, like, especially when they work from home, to show up and they're like very messy or they're not clean. Obviously, like, that old character, identify it. How do they present when they go out? Are they in flip-flops? Are they in Crocs? Like, how do they present themselves? Okay, now what was your Myers-Briggs test result? Now there's a test called the Myers-Briggs. So guys, I'm actually going to link to this below. If you've never done this before, I highly recommend you do this because you're going to learn a lot about yourself, okay? There's a psychology assessment called the Myers-Briggs personality test. Now what it does is it basically, and here's the link below. I'm going to link it below on the video. But basically, like, you regularly make new friends. I would put agree because that's just how I am right now. Let's just say complex and novel ideas excite you more than simple ones. I would say agree for me, and I would say agree here as well. Right? Basically, you want to like submit this test. It takes maybe 15 minutes. I highly recommend it. At the end of the test, we're going to give you one of 16 personality types. For example, it'll say if you're introverted, if you're extroverted, to what extent are you introverted versus extroverted? For example, maybe you're 75% extroverted and 25% introverted. And then now you know what? Maybe I have to change some of that to be this new character. Or on the flip side, a lot of you guys are very shy. Well, this new character, if you're 85% introverted, that's going to be a problem achieving these goals, right? So you have to basically it creates a lot of clarity into your personality so you can start to change it into who you want to become. Now, the people that kind of put together the Myers-Briggs, I just want to let you know, guys, this is not static. So this is not like, oh, you're introverted, that's it, you can't change it. That's not how this works. Despite what the experts say, you can change this. And I've done this test probably like 20 times in the past 7 years. And every single time I get a different result. Because we change. Like, there's periods of my life where I'm making more friends, where I'm socializing more. And obviously, I'm going to put a different answer. And there's periods of my life where I'm not really making some new friends. I'm kind of just doing my thing. So it's going to depend on like what season of your life you're on. And this answer is going to be different for every single person. So I highly recommend you take 15, 20 minutes, you take the test, and you read the assessment, right? Like how intuitive you are, how logical you are, how spontaneous you are. Some people are extremely organized. Like they organize everything. And some people are more spontaneous. I tend to be a little more on the spontaneous side. I don't like structure a lot. But the person I need to become, they have more structure embedded into them. And likewise, if you're extremely rigid and you're extremely structured, too structured, you might have to become more spontaneous, more creative to let that other side of you out. So that's very, very important. So what was your Myers-Briggs test result? And then it's going to give you a 4-letter code like ENTJ. Highly recommend writing that down. Okay, and like what are your binary poles? So this is something that comes from Sam. These are binary poles, right? So like yin and yang, complete opposites. Typically, your current character is going to like, you have to pick one, right? And at the end, you can see, okay, maybe I have to change some of these in order to become that new person. So let's do some of this right now. So logic or intuition? Are you more of a logical person or are you more of an intuition type of person? For me, I'd put intuition. Are you tight with money or are you loose with money? I'm definitely loose. Masculine or feminine, right? Obviously masculine, disciplined or undisciplined, right? Sensible or silly? Are you serious or are you like kind of like a silly person? And sometimes it might be closer to the middle, but obviously you have to pick one. Organized, disorganized, shy, outgoing. And guys, this is who you currently are, not who you want to be. So you have to be very honest with yourself about who you currently are versus who you want to be. Okay, this is the baseline. Are you logical and precise or artistic and creative? Do you prefer nature or a city? Playful or serious? Healthy or unhealthy? Early riser or are you a night owl? What are you currently right now? Do you believe in science or do you believe in religion? Meditation and spirituality or money and cigars? Which one are you right now? And guys, what happens with this character is sometimes we get so jammed on one of these sides. We become so hardcore. We'll become, no, I'm all about money and cigars, or I'm all about spirituality. You become so hard jammed that with your new character, you have to kind of like not change your personality, but you have to like be open to the other side a bit more and bring yourself more to the middle or even more to that side. Like if you're shy, you have to be more outgoing. And if you're too outgoing, you have to kind of maybe lean back a little bit to the middle, right? Giving to others or selfish to myself? Do you think more about the past or do you think more about the future? Are you like charity or are you more like greedy? Are you very like, I'm going to be Mr. Beast, or are you like, I'm going to amass as much as possible for myself? Are you loud? And guys, the reason this is important is because your new character, right now, if you're like, no, I'm going to make all this money for myself and whatever. Your new character, if you start to think differently, you know what? I'm going to make 200K a month, but I'm going to give away 10K to my family, or 15K, 20K to my family, or whatever. Now the new character thinks completely differently. Are you bold and well presented or are you understated? Right? And a lot of you guys are probably understated. Are you bold and well presented or understated? That's very important. Okay, so what are your good and bad habits? Write them down. And this is really crucial. Like I'm sure right now the current character has a ton of bad habits. Write them all down. What things do you do repeatedly? And write the good habits too. Maybe you eat clean. Maybe you go to sleep on time. Write them down. What are your strengths? List them. So are you good at copywriting? Are you good at sales? Like what are your strengths? List 5 of them. So what are your weaknesses? What do you do that is like crippling your ability to become the best version of yourself? List 5 of them. Okay. What negative things pop up on your mind on a daily basis? This is so, so important. Like as human beings, we tend to worry and we have fear and anxiety. What negative things pop up into your mind on a daily basis? List all of them. Okay. Just write them down. What past events do you worry about or replay in your mind? So do you keep replaying certain instances, certain situations in your mind? Write them down. What things do you worry about in the future? Okay, and be honest with yourself. Like, what things in the future do you worry about? Do you worry about not making it, not becoming successful, or staying in the same position 3 years from now? What is that concern of the old character? Because the new character is never going to think about these things ever. So what blocks you from doing what you want to do each day and moving towards your dreams and goals? So what blocks you? Who is stopping you from working on your goals and achieving them, and you want to be honest. Like, who do you think is it politics? Is it the market? Is it some new regulation? Like, what is it? Who are you currently angry at? What things or people do you blame? And guys, don't lie to yourself. Like, who are you mad at? Who are you angry at? Who would you blame for being in your current circumstances? Is it your parents? Is it your spouse? Is it your ex-wife? Like, is it your children? So, like, we place these excuses and these blames. That's okay. Just write it down, because the new version, or is it a politician? Is it like some politician that you're like, yeah, because of that person, I can't become successful? Or at least I'm blaming them, even just partially. Write it down. And what things do you hate doing and never, ever, ever want to do, right? What things do you hate doing? Like, do you hate talking to people? Is that the thing that, or no matter what, do you just hate the idea of waking up early? Like, what thing do you hate doing? Because chances are, some of the time, what you hate is exactly what you need to do. What you are avoiding is exactly what you need to do and what the new self loves doing. The old version hates XYZ. The new version loves XYZ. Do you hate doing cold calls? Do you just hate cold calls? Well, the new version loves them. And what does the average day look like for you? So describe it from the moment you first wake up to the moment you go to bed. So map out the day. Like, you wake up at 7 a.m. and then this happens. Like, map out the average looking day. What does it look like? Do you spend, and be honest with yourself, are you like 1 hour watching TV? Are you scrolling TikTok for like 30 minutes a day? Are you working but like you're checking your phone every 5 minutes? What does that look like? And then what are your character traits? For example, driven, powerful, smart, classy, lazy, scrappy. Like, what are your character traits right now for the current character? What are they? Are they smart? Are they lazy? Are they undisciplined? Like, what are their current character traits? And this is the last one and the most powerful, guys. How do you imagine others gossiping and talking about you in a cafe? Now, this comes from Sam. This is amazing. So the current version of you, think about other people in a cafe talking about you. Acquaintances, friends, family. What do you imagine that they would say about you? Write that down. Okay, this is going to be really important. And that's the current character worksheet. Guys, take 20 minutes, write it down, and just let it all out. Because the more you identify, okay, so this version of myself, they're scared about their future. Their bad habits are XYZ. They constantly do these patterns and they constantly loop back to these same patterns. And this happens over and over and over again. And their binary poles, their Myers-Briggs personality test. You understand this character like better than you've ever understood it, which lets us take the next step. Okay, guys, defining your dream life. Now, this is really, really powerful because we're actually going to break down all the steps, and you've probably never thought about it this way. You guys have probably watched 1,000 videos on goals, but please take a second to fill this out because it's going to be super, super crucial and super, super important. So let's go to the designing your dream life worksheet. So this is what you want to do second, okay? So I'm just going to go over these really quick, guys, because I don't want to make this video too long. But as you go through this, pause, reflect, and fill this out. Question 1, what is your dream? Like, what do you actually want from life? And map out the vision. Obviously, make it as detailed as possible. And again, this is not in stone. You can always build upon it every single day. Like, what is your absolute wildest dreams? No limitations. You can have, a magic lamp and then get everything you want. Okay, so write it down. And then, define it. Try to put some clarity to it. So, like, where do you want to live? What do you want to do each day? How much money do you want to make? Very important. Step 3, you want to be able to declare this dream to someone that you care about, whether it's your spouse or your brother or your sister or whoever it is. You want to be able to speak to them about the dream, because then it makes you more accountable to actually achieving the dreams and the things you want to say. And then it also makes you excited. You want to be able to tell your husband, tell your wife, tell your partner about the vision that you have and that you're striving to achieve every single day. Step 4, you want to design the business. So like map out, okay, are we going to have a front end funnel? Are we going to have a VA? Are we going to have like how many salespeople do we need? We need 4 salespeople and their calendar's full with this high ticket 8K offer. What does the business actually look like? Like map it out, design it, and design it more than it's designed right now. So right now you probably have like a rough idea of what that looks like. I want to hit 200K a month. Well, that's going to be 4 salespeople, and they're going to be on average selling about 10 units each of like this 8K offer. Whatever. I don't even know if that math adds up, but you guys understand what I'm saying. And the way we're going to get clients is YouTube ads or Facebook ads and XYZ, right? So map out the idea of what it's going to look like, okay? Now, guys, this is the most important part, and this is the part where everybody skips. Everybody just makes this big goal, they dream, they visualize it, and then they miss this, which is like the most important part, the daily actions. So let's break it down into bite-sized, achievable chunks. Okay, so let's take the big goal. Let's say the big goal is making 200K a month. Okay, let's break it down into 5 phases, okay? So break it down into 5 big phases. And what I mean by that is like phase 1. Again, this is going to be different for every single person, but phase 1 might be, I'm going to create this offer, right? Again, the phases should take a good amount of time. There should be pretty big things to achieve. Like, for example, if somebody's goal is to make 200K a month and they're starting from scratch, what are the 5 big chunks, big steps that have to happen in sequential order in order to achieve the goal? Okay, like first they might have to have a sales team, and they might have to have an agency running ads, and then they have to have testimonial. Probably I messed that order up, but you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to take it a step forward, and you want to break down each phase into 5 to 12 bite-sized steps. Okay. For example, this is an example that I wrote down. Let's just say your goal is to sign your own, to have your own social media marketing agency. Very original, right? Let's say your goal is to have let's say your goal is to have a 200K a month agency business, right? Well, step 1 might be to get 5 agency clients, right? Let's just say step 1 is to get to 10K a month, okay, and then quit your job, let's just say. But you're going to break that down into more bite-sized steps. So for example, it doesn't make sense for the first step to be sign 1 agency client, because how does that help you? Like if your goal is sign 1 agency client, okay, you know what the direction is, but what do you actually do? So that's not a good goal. What you want to have is a train track to your goals. So for example, you have to make it more bite-sized than that. Instead of saying my goal is 1 agency client, you should say your goal is to consistently do daily prospecting, okay? If your goal is consistent daily prospecting, well, that's very easy to do. It's very achievable. And now, guess what? You did step 1.1. That's the very first step. So your goal isn't 200K a month. Your goal isn't even sign 1 client. Your goal is every single day, I want to do daily prospecting, consistent daily prospecting every day. Well, that's easy, okay? And then 1.2, the next step is, okay, every single day I'm doing daily prospecting. Now my goal is to send 50 messages every single day. Well, that's you can focus on the actions you need to take to be able to get there. And then you achieve that. Now you achieve 50 messages a day. Okay, my next goal is to do 100 messages a day. Perfect. And then the next goal is to do 100, but 3 social media posts or whatever. And then you slowly start to increment. And then my goal is 4 sales calls a day. Okay, not 1 agency client. My goal is just 4 sales calls, a week, my bad. 4 sales calls a week, okay? And then 10, right? So you want to like almost break down the big goal into 5 smaller goals, 5 phases. And then within each phase, you want to break down the bite-sized, step-by-step. Again, you could put 5 to 15 bite-sized little things. The point is, it feels easy, right? The reason that we love playing video games is because when a developer creates a video game, the next goal is like right there, which makes it very addicting. You get that dopamine hit of like, yes, I leveled up. If you were on level 1, from level 1 to level 2, it's pretty easy, right? But if you were on level 1 and level 2 felt like it was really like level 50, you would never have the motivation to continue playing the game. In entrepreneurship, the problem is you're getting started and you want to go get your first agency client if it's your first business. Well, that's like going from level 1 to level 50. It's very difficult. You don't want to do that. You want to bite-size steps to where, okay, first daily prospecting, then 50 messages, then 100, then 4 sales calls a week, then 10 sales calls a week. And you make it so easy to go from one level to the next. That's how you create and map out your goals, okay? So again, guys, we just took your dream life and then we created very reasonable, bite-sized steps to be able to achieve this. Again, the very first step should be very easy, very simple things. I'm going to start prospecting. I'm going to start doing 1 hour of deep focus work every day. Well, then the next goal is 2 hours of deep focus work every day. And very, very simple, because now you're focused on the inputs instead of like what's going to get the result, instead of just, yeah, my goal is one agency client. And then you go to your desk every day and you think, yeah, my goal is one agency client. You sit down and you have no idea what the hell you're doing. And there's no form of progress. There's just this like random, and I guess you can see this, there's a random circle of like circle jerk of doing the exact same thing every single day. Guys, that is the Dream Life worksheet. Let me know if this helps, guys. This is going to take a little bit of time, and everything in this video is going to take time. Map this out, pause the video, come back. This is so, so important, because once you have crystal clear clarity, your life is going to transform and it's going to completely change. All right, guys, time to explore the new character. Now you know who your current character is, what your dream life is, the exact steps, the bite-sized steps you need to take to be able to get there. The only thing that's left is your new character. So let's go ahead and pull that up. All right, so this is the new character worksheet, and it's what you guys have been waiting for. It's who you can become, who you have to become to be able to reach your dreams. Now, I'm going to link this below. Guys, please take 20 minutes to fill this out. This is the most important thing that you do today or this week for your entire business. Okay, let's go through the new character worksheet from Sam Ovens and my variations of it, of how you can become this new character. That we mapped out your current character, we mapped out your dream life. Now let's map out who you have to become to get there. And then the next step is, okay, now you know exactly who you have to become to reach your dreams. How do you actually do that every single day? And we map out the actual daily actions again. Okay, so again, how would you describe the new version of you necessary to achieve all your dreams and goals? And then try to describe this character in 3 sentences or less. Now, the key is 3 sentences or less. And the other key is effortlessly. Okay, describe the version of you that would effortlessly achieve your goals. Because right now, if you try to achieve your goals, they're going to be extremely difficult. For this version, it should be like a walk in the park. It should be like, that's it. Like, that's all that you wanted me to achieve. Like, just these goals. Like, this is nothing. It's almost offensive to this person that you even have these goals. Like, for example, if it's someone that would easily make 2 million, making 200K is like, dude, this is a joke. Like, to this person, it has to be like a walk in the park, right? Describe that person in 3 sentences or less. Maybe they're this, like, I don't know, like you it's up to you guys. Like, I don't know. Everybody has different goals, right? But like, for example, if your goal was to be a bodybuilder, it's like, this guy is an absolute animal. Like, he's a monster. Like, all he does is focus on training, like either focus on training or like researching training in order to like optimize his sleep, optimize his muscle fibers, his stretching, everything. This guy's an absolute animal. Okay, describe that person in 3 sentences or less. Now, what skills and strengths does this new character need to have in order to effortlessly achieve your dreams? List them all. Like, what skills do they need to effortlessly be able to do this? Well, do they need to be a master of sales? Like, do they need to be the best salesperson on the planet? Do they need to be extremely charismatic? Do they need to be funny? Like, what is it that that person needs to have to effortlessly achieve? Do they need to be extremely organized and a really good planner? Do they need to have a brilliant network? Like, what do they need? What skills and strengths do they need to be able to effortlessly execute on this? Number 3, what strengths does this new character have that your current one does not? Okay, your current one is missing. What strengths does this guy need to have that your current one just doesn't have right now? What weaknesses is this new character free from that your current one possesses? So chances are the current character has a lot of weaknesses. We identified that before. This new person, they're not going to have these weaknesses. Write them down. What are they free of? Right? Is it binge eating? Is it poor sleeping? Is it, what is it? Is it procrastination? Is it something else? What good habits does this new character have that your current one does not? So what good habits do they have? Do they wake up early? Do they drink a lot of water? Do they constantly exercise and do cardio? Write that down. What fears is this new character free of that your current one possesses? This is really, really important. What fears do they don't have? The other character, again, thinking about the past, thinking about the future, anxiety. This new person is never going to think about that ever. How does this new character present himself? Now, this is really important. What does he or she look like? Because one of the easiest ways to signal to your mind that you're stepping into a new version, there's a really good movie called like Crazy Stupid Love, I think it's called, with like Ryan Gosling and Steve Carell, the guy from The Office. And basically in the movie, if you've never seen it, he doesn't know how to pick up women. He gets divorced from his wife, and he's like never talked to a woman in like 25 years. And then Ryan Gosling is like this pickup artist, and they meet. And one of the initial things he has him do is completely change his wardrobe, right? And when he changes his wardrobe, it's like he's a completely new person now. It's this complete identity shift. So if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. The point is, if you present yourself in a different way, it's going to instantly signal to your mind, okay, this is a new character, right? This is a new person. Like you're playing a movie character. This person, the one that effortlessly achieves 200K a month, they dress like this. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be like in suits all day. Like that's not what I'm getting at. But do they present themselves differently? Like if you work from home, are they in Crocs? Are they in sandals? Like this person, how would they dress? And it's going to be different for everybody, right? How do they present themselves publicly? Are they always groomed? Are they always clean shaved? Right? Are they always in a better state? You know, what does that person look like? And then number 9, what judgments is this new character free of that the current one possesses? Write that down. And then what stories about the past is this new character free of that the current one possesses? Chances are the old character keeps telling themselves old stories about the past, about why they failed, about people they blame, about all these different things. Well, this new character is not going to have one iota of thinking about that. And then what traits do they have? What traits does this new character have? These should be very good traits, very powerful traits that they embody every single day. And then describe what the average day looks like for this new character and when they're executing and taking massive actions to achieve their goals. So what does the average day look like for this person? Do they wake up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m.? Do they do 3 hours of deep focus work, no interruptions, no cell phone in sight? Then they go to the gym, they work out, they come back, they eat like this green juice, this super healthy food, and they go back to do 3 hours of more deep focus work. Like, what does that day look like for this person that effortlessly achieves your wildest dreams? Okay? And describe the things that this new character loves doing and has an appetite for that the current character hates and avoids at all cost. Okay, this new character should love doing things that the old character hates doing. What do they absolutely love doing? Like, completely. Write that down. And this is the last one, guys. And this is super, super important. And just to go full 360, how would other people gossip and talk about this new character in a cafe? Now, this is super, super, super important. If you think about this character, the version of themselves that they are, what do other people think about this character? Like if you're not around, they're just gossiping about you, what are they saying? And it should be very, very good gossip. Like, what do you want them to say? Like, do you want them to say, wow, that person, like, have you seen how they transform themselves? Like, they're super confident, they're super outgoing, like they're killing it. They're like that person's a beast, they're just crushing it. You want to envision that and write that down because this is a very, very interesting and telling sign of like your identity, right? This is another way to word your identity. How do other people see you? Or what do you think other people, or what do you want them to think when they think about you, right? This is super, super important, guys. So guys, this is the new character worksheet and it's extremely important to fill this out. I'm going to link this below and this is who you have to become to be able to reach your dreams. And I think we've covered enough of that. So let's go on to the next slide, guys. Now, the only thing that's left to cover is how do you actually grow into this self? So like now you know, okay, wow, I need to become this person to be able to reach my dreams. The only thing left is how you grow into this self, okay? So this is the alchemy of self, the transformation of taking yourself from like who you are now into gold, okay? What you want to do, guys, is you want to create a habit, okay? You need to be able to set up a habit of looking at this document every single day and then tracking your progress towards it. Those two things. So again, the reason for 30 days, obviously, is because if you can do it for a month straight, then it's much easier to do it for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, okay? You need to be able to create a habit, okay? Guys, and this is very important, like if you become this person, nothing else matters. If you become this person, nothing else matters. So here is the productivity tracker. And what I recommend, guys, and I would write this down because I didn't create a slide about it, but what I'd recommend is I'd recommend a daily habit of looking at the document every single day, the one that we just created, and then looking at the bite-sized steps, like the blueprint, the train tracks we also created. So looking at your dream life worksheet and the new character worksheet every single day. Because every single day you're going to update it as, okay, what is the actual next step in the process, and who do you have to be to achieve your goals? And if you're that version and you have these train tracks, these bite-sized steps, it's going to be very easy and very clear, like, okay, what you need to actually do to achieve this. Okay. Okay, so those are the two things. And the other thing you want to do is you want to track your daily performance tracking. Now, this is from Sam as well. This I 100% obviously got off him. And every single day, you want to write down your performance. Okay, so how did you do that day in comparison to your new character? Did you act like them 99% of the day? Was it 90%? Like, how much did you live up to your full potential? Okay, and I've covered this in other videos, so I'm not going to go super deep into this now, but I'm going to link this document below as well. But basically what you want to do is every single day for 30 days straight, now you know who you need to become. You need to make a habit of looking at this first thing in the morning. It doesn't matter if you have, again, this is a lot of people have different perspectives on this. Like Hormozi says, wake up and work, make it simple. The problem is if you're working as the old version of you with all this baggage and all these bad beliefs and all this fear and anxiety and these bad habits, yeah, you might get a good session in for like an hour or two, but what happens after that? You need to be able to step into this character, because if you can become the best person that you can be, personal development, psychology wise, identity wise, your goal will naturally be a byproduct and everything else will be achieved. So I highly recommend in the morning taking 15 to 20 minutes, making a habit of looking at the new character document, reading it, taking your time with it, and then looking at the dream life worksheet of like, okay, here's what I want to, here's a long-term goal of what I want to achieve, and how do I boil this down into easy, simple, bite-sized steps today. Okay? And here are some FAQs and some questions, guys. So I want to cover this because this is really important. Like, what if you fall off? Like, what if you do this for a few days and you feel really good and then you stop doing it? And then welcome to the real world. That's obviously why we have in the link below, this is going to be a plug, we have our accountability service. Okay, we offer a 7-day free trial, $250 a month. So if it's with that, it's one-on-one accountability with myself. So I will personally get my phone and reach out to you and check in with you. Multiple daily check-ins, multiple like automated daily check-ins that you have to perform to guarantee that you're actually building a habit out of this. Now, I'm really glad you watched this video. I'm really glad you made everything, all the documents. But the truth is, if you don't make it a habit and you do it for 3 days and then you stop, you're not going to become the person that's necessary to reach your dreams. Okay? So there's basically two solutions in order for you to actually make this a habit. Number one is you use raw willpower, or number two, you take a look at our accountability service below. So there's a video on that. I'm not going to like do the whole pitch there because it might not interest some of you guys. But basically, you have a one-on-one accountability service where I message you one-on-one consistently, and we have like a consistent, basically you're hiring an accountability coach to make sure that, okay, I actually make this a habit, and I make it a habit to try and become the best version of myself every single day. Because things happen, things get in the way, there's different priorities, timeline shifts, priority shift, things like that. We have personal issues, personal problems. Underneath all of that, we need to make sure that we become the best version of ourselves, because if we can do that, everything takes care of itself. So if you're interested in the one-on-one accountability service, we do have a whole week free trial. You can try it without making a decision. We also have a 30-day money-back guarantee. It's $250 a month to be the best version of yourself and basically make sure you're accountable to doing this every morning. Now, if you don't want to opt in for that, that's totally fine. The other thing, the other path is raw willpower. So you have to make sure every single day for 30 days straight that you look at the documents and you go into it and you become this person. And the chances are you will fall off. It's almost guaranteed. Nobody's invincible. You are going to fall off. But when you do fall off, you get back on the horse and you try again. Okay? And guys, you have to do this for 30 days straight, because after 30 days, it's going to start to really become a habit. And you know, there's gonna be, and I'm just reading some of these questions, there's gonna be a war of identities inside you. There's gonna be the old character, like there's gonna be times where you had a really productive day, but the old character is gonna fight like hell not to let itself die. And that's exactly what you should expect. The old character, the version of your legs scrolling through TikTok, The new version of yourself doesn't do that. Like TikToks, they don't even have TikTok, right? They don't have that on their phone. But you're gonna get an itch to download it again and to just be that old person. You are going to feel this pull to regress to the old version of you. So you have to be prepared for that. We created a brand new version of yourself. The old version is going to still be there in the shadows, lingering, just waiting until your willpower is down, or you have some doubts, or you have some fear, or you have some negative energy, and they're going to come back to life. And you're going to see this, and you're going to have like this pendulum swing between the old version and the new version, the old version and the new version. That's why obviously our accountability service helps. If you can obviously afford it and you're in a good position to pay $250 a month, guys, I highly recommend it because like I personally believe it's the best thing you can do. And obviously that's the goal with this channel, to work with as many people as possible. But you are going to have this pendulum swing of identities, like going back and forth. You have to be able to kill the old self metaphorically. And like, it's going to be a war by that. You have to win the war. Okay. You have to win the war, and you have to completely destroy the old self and any remnants left of whatever's left. And you have to basically bulldoze your way into I'm this new person. I'm becoming this new person. This includes bad habits like smoking, coffee. Some people don't see that as a bad habit, but like it depends. Like smoking, alcohol, drugs, coffee, any other bad addiction. You need to like destroy that version of yourself and step into this new version. This new version has different friends. They dress differently, they speak differently, they act differently, they think differently, but it's more aligned to the person that you truly want to become. Okay? So you want to look at this document multiple times a day, as often as you can. You don't have to go crazy with it, but at least twice a day, in the morning and the evening, and more often if you can, especially in the beginning. Okay? And guys, here's the thing, like people should notice you behaving differently. Okay? Like people should notice. That's actually a sign that you're doing it right. So if you've always dressed a particular way for like 15 years, and all of a sudden you're going to dress differently, yeah, people are going to notice. They're like, wow, you look different. If you start speaking differently, and normally you're very shy and you're very like reserved, and all of a sudden like you're super outgoing, well, people are going to notice that. And once they notice that, your old self kind of panics and tries even harder to reel you back in. It's these old habits that you don't want to let go. We have a lot of neuroplasticity. It's very easy to change it's very possible to change everything in our minds, but it's not easy. It's very difficult. Okay. So if people start noticing you, that's actually a good sign. And they might even give you some pushback. They might even say things like, why are you so outgoing now? Or why are you dressing differently? Or why are you presenting yourself like that? And that's completely normal. And it might even scare them a little, like, wow, look how much you're changing. And that's a good thing. Okay. That's a good sign. And guys, so the other question is like, what happens if I can't fully merge into this new character? You might not be able to completely, that's why you want to track your productivity, right? So it's like, if day one, you did 50%, you were like 50% of this new character. Well, now like you have another 50% to make up for it, and you want to keep trying and trying and trying until you get there. But guys, those are some basic Q&As. Let's go ahead and kind of recap the process so we can start to wrap up the video, okay? Step one, you want to map out your current character, okay? Now, again, we already did that in your current character worksheet. So if you haven't already, make sure you do that. And you want to really know yourself. Know thyself is very important. You need to know yourself, your bad habits, your weaknesses, because once you see yourself doing that, now you can reel it back. Now you can exert more control over yourself. So step one, you need to map out the current version of you and all the detail in it. I left the links in the description. Step two, you want to map out your goals and your dream life. Like, what is your actual dream life? Where do you want to live? Where do you want to work? How much money do you want to make? What does your life look like? Have crystal clear clarity. After that, step three, you want to be able to build your train track. Okay, so like we talked about earlier, map out your goal into 5 different phases and 8 to 15 bite-sized chunks of like daily actions of what you can do every single day to achieve that. Step 4, you want to design your new character. So just define who you have to become, who you must become to effortlessly achieve that. Because you guys have 2 options. You can try to become it as your current version, which is going to take a lot of pain, a lot of struggle, and you might never get there. Or you can just become the person that achieves it effortlessly. Okay? Now, this is the most important part, defining this new character. Well, I should say step 5 is the most important part, which is like actually stepping into it. And that's going to be extremely painful and extremely brutal. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It sucks. It's hard. You know, you want to look at that. You want to look at that document every single day. The dream life document with the goals and the track list and the new character worksheet. Look at it every single day. And then make it a habit of looking at it every single day and then tracking your productivity. Very, very, very important, guys. If you do that every single day for 30 days straight, for 90 days straight, you will become a version of yourself that people don't even recognize. And I want you to think about that. Imagine other people, friends and family seeing this new version of yourself. Like, how would they react to it? That's who you can become. Okay. If you're interested in our accountability offer, which helps you do that, you know, with our guidance, with our support, then link below. Obviously, you can still do that on your own. But guys, this is the most important thing. If you can do this, if you can become the guy who achieves your goal effortlessly, nothing else in your life matters, okay? You know, you have to become that character. That character that you've already been imagining is already within you. Now you have to simply live as that character until you completely obliterate the old version of you. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, leave me a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.